at a certain point, you guys sort of pivoted to checking out abandoned places, right?
Yeah.
And then now it's become more haunted spots. What made you switch from just like, oh, shit just being abandoned isn't enough, right? Because I've been in some abandoned places.
We used to be scared of spiders. Now we're scared of spiders and ghosts. So, but
what makes you be like, hey, bro, there's nobody in this dark room we're in.
Let's bring them in and summon them.
Yeah, let's light up a Ouija board. Yeah, what makes that kind of like, yeah, how do you get there? What makes you make that turn?
Well, to be completely honest with you, we started doing the abandoned stuff in like 2017, 2018. And yeah, we were legally doing like pretty much all of our videos back in the day, and we got arrested. So like in 2019, like.
Oh, so you were just showing up places.
Yeah, well, we would just be like, okay, like there's this abandoned asylum. Let's try to figure a way in and figure a way out without getting caught. And it was really like fun. I mean, that's like exhilarating, but came a time that we actually got caught, and we're like, oh, well, we can't do this as much anymore. But luckily, like about a year prior to that, we had started going to some places that had like haunted lore, right? And we were like, I don't really believe in this stuff. Like actually, like both of us were very, very skeptical of anything haunted, ghost related before we started. And we thought it would be great. Like, let's do this abandoned stuff, but like, let's see if there's a ghost there. That's funny. Like, it's probably not. It's just a dark building, but it'll be great for content. But then things started happening. And it was like, wait, what actually was that? What was that voice? What was that slam? What was that door that just like, crashed in front of me? And then happen over and over and over again. And we're like, wait, this might actually be real. And then we went to this place called the Queen Mary in Long Beach. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Oh yeah, it's an old ship, right?
Have you been before?
Yeah, I think I did comedy on it.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean it's a huge hotel and it's awesome.
I left some bad jokes on that MF. I'll tell you that. So if one of those showed up, that was me.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
If you heard people booing, that wasn't ghosts. That was just audience people. Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, we had like such a crazy experience.
And you really did. You're really having these experiences. Like this is real.
Yeah.
1000%. Yes.
Well, the entire time, like we didn't really, like we didn't believe. So like we were like, let's test it. Cause like actually it would be kind of cool if there was something, it would be really fun. And so like at this time we were skeptical, but we wanted something to happen. And then at the night of the Queen Mary, we kind of gave up. We actually did this entire video and nothing really happened all night. And then at the very, very end of the night, turned off cameras and we're like, well, that was a horrible video, but let's just try it one more time for the rest of the night. It was like 4 a.m. And then slowly stuff started happening off camera. And this is like how real it is for me. It's like, if it was just for content, we just turn on the cameras and like try to like capture it. But instead we just like sat there and tried to have a conversation with a spirit. And that night completely changed my life. It made me religious. It made me like want to get to the whole spiritualist thing. And we talked about this many times after, being like, okay, screw this abandoned stuff. I want to know the answer. Like, this is not just for content anymore. This is beautiful. If it's actually like out there, if there is something on the other side, I want to know. And so that dove us into this whole like career over the last 5-7 years.
Wow, man. As you're building that up there, as you're telling me that, even when you were starting just kind of that parable there, or starting that, like when you were starting to share there, it made me think of like faith. It's like, you think there's nothing there, right? And something shows up, right? And like you're saying, like you were hoping something, but nothing had occurred, right? And it's kind of the same thing with faith. Like even, for people that are religious or have believe in some sort of higher power, you have to meet it halfway, right? So just the fact that you guys showed up willing to meet whatever could be out there, and then whatever's out there, sometimes the way it shows up could be positive, but maybe the way we interpret it too is like scary to us because it's coming from a place that we can't understand.
Very, very true. And I mean, when we first started, my entire life I've been Christian. So like we first started with this like Queen Mary like experience. And for Sam, like he was saying, it was something where he didn't believe in anything.
Fuck, I didn't know this.
Yeah, but I've always been born and raised Christian. And so for me, it was more of just like a hopeful thing that's like securing my beliefs, I guess you could say. So it really just depends on the person, but anybody can take the paranormal like however they want, depending on what they believe in their personal lives.
But you're right. It's so much more of like putting yourself out there and meeting something halfway, whether that be in a religious sense or as we do in like the paranormal world. It's like so many people go out there and they're so closed off. Like they're skeptical. I'm sure tons of people watching this right now are super skeptical. But
Yeah, I was one of them a little while ago.
Yeah. But if you go into a haunted house and you're super skeptical and you don't think something's going to happen, same thing with faith. You're never going to get it. But like when we turn off the cameras and we actually were like, okay, I just want something to be there. I'm willing to really believe and put myself there. That's when things started happening. And that's what we always advise the people to do when they go into these haunted places. Put yourself out there. Take a risk, you know?
Yeah, it's so funny. It brings me back to like when I was a kid, and like that's one thing that is amazing about kids. It's like, especially like ghosts and kids, like when they're even till like 15, 16, different ages, but when you have that youthful energy, you're so like right there on the edge of the moment that something can meet it, like something small can meet you right there really easily. It's pretty.
You're so willing to believe.
Yes,
you know,
it's such an amazing time.
Yeah.
And that's why like children have so many more experiences because they're less closed off. They're less like, I don't know, jaded to the world. You know. Like,
oh, it's so true, dude. Now if a ghost showed up, it'd be I literally was like, all right, can you come back later? I'd probably be like,
I'm busy, all right? I got some shit to do, you know?
Yeah. People could beg for like somebody to come from the afterlife that they love, and then they hear a weird knock at the door in the middle of the night, and instead they call the police instead of go open it up. Like, what are you talking about your grandfather?
Come on, go have that conversation.
But it's just interesting that like how perception and belief can meet together to frame what your experience can be.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we do it now. Like we definitely now believe we've had so many experiences over the last like 7 years that have proved to us that we're not the only things out there.
Yeah.
But especially me, I was at a place where I thought it was all blackness. After you die, it was nothing. It was so hopeless that when I found that spark of like, wait, there could be something more, it was like my version of finding religion. It was my version of finding hope. And I was like, wait a second, if I can prove this to myself, and now that I have over the last couple of years, what if I could prove this to somebody else? What if someone could watch one of our videos and walk away being like, wait, there is something more.
Maybe so.
And what if that changes their course of their life to maybe be a better person, or maybe be just a more hopeful, happy person?
Yeah.
And so like, although we are like the spooky guys, we're Ghostbusters, we're whatever, and we're trying to get something that's scary, that scariness is super hopeful. It's like very beautiful.
But we're also very inviting to just skeptics that won't or don't want to like be open-minded about anything. Like they could just watch our videos for entertainment. So really just like you said, it depends on the person, and the paranormal affects everybody in different ways depending on what you believe.
Yeah, this is interesting, man. I didn't even know if I expected this conversation to go like this, but this is great.
I'd be curious, like, what do you believe?
Well, I've gotten to speak with people that have, like, we had a doctor on who is a cancer doctor, and he had, over the years, he started interviewing people that had had near-death experiences and just collecting a lot of their data, right? Like a lot of the data, and finding a lot of the commonalities in it.
Yeah.
And so once I spoke with him, I started thinking like, yeah, this was him right there, Dr. Jeffrey Long, and he wrote a book about it, and it's an easy read, but it's, you could just tell how much it changed his life and his perspective, that he, at no fiscal reward, he started creating this database and just putting together all different people's accounts. And it was just fascinating to see how many people had the same experiences, right? And so that gave me like, okay, if enough of it's uniform here and the experiences are the same, like that kind of shows a pattern, obviously. Right. And it certainly starts to make you believe a little bit more, right? And it's like he couldn't really get to what's on the other side. The other side, like if you go over to the other side, whatever the other realm is. But he was able to kind of like, through a great deal of interviews, examine some of the stair steps that people were on, and what that experience was like. And so that, I think, gave me almost a little bit more of like a scientific idea of like, okay, there's something more than just us guessing this, right? So that kind of was there for me. I had like a DMT experience where it's like, some people use plant medicine. I'm not encouraging that. I know you guys have some younger viewers, but that took you to a place where you feel like you were leaving
For sure.
And that was pretty fascinating. Like, okay, you felt like becoming this, you felt yourself kind of leave your body and become this spirit that the only thing you could feel was love. Like you couldn't feel anything else. All the earthly chains of like people you knew and all of that. And like, I always feel like if I die, I'm going to worry about them and there was a little bit of that, but even that broke away. The amount of like immense love that was present in your being as you were hypothetically leaving this body that we know was so immense and so great. And you knew immediately, oh, they'll be here again. They'll all be here someday. So no matter what they're feeling now, this moment trumps whatever that is.
And so even though you couldn't remember anything that was going on in this like physical plane, you still somehow had the thought that like you were supposed to be there. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you still somehow had the thought that like as it was happening, I felt like you literally start to feel like you're leaving your body, and you start to, like, my first thoughts are like, you're still attached to a lot of your like worldly thoughts. Like, oh, my mom's
scared.
going to miss me. I'm scared. I forgot to do this. I forgot to send that email. That was like one of my thoughts. Like, dude,
Oh, damn.
who gives a shit? You're
The curses
dead.
of life.
Yeah, dude, you forgot to
Email.
send an email. Oh, I should have let the dog out or whatever. Or man, I left those shoes on the porch. Little things like that were like kind of going in my head. But then it was like this, you became overwhelmed with this feeling of like so much love. And the only thing you were supposed to do while you were alive was love, and everything else was just a ruse. And then you thought, oh, my mom will miss me. But then you thought, you're like, oh, but she'll come to this feeling one day too when she passes away.
Whoa.
So she'll have the same realization that everything is as okay as it ever could be and ever was, and it'll be that way for eternity.
Dang, dude.
So that may sound crazy. I've never even said that out loud, and I don't even know if it makes sense.
No, that's a
a
very
beautiful
beautiful
experience.
thing.
But yeah, so I think, and I want to believe.
I think most people do. I feel like it's pretty sad if like you want there to be nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Like everyone like deep down, whatever you believe in, you would rather a way that you like move on. Just that's just human.
That's what I think. Yeah, just having, and it makes it exciting. And we showed up here, dude. We showed up here. This is the
Yeah.
craziest shit you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, how lucky is it to even be alive?
Yeah. Just the grace to exist, to be a fish that like comes close to the edge of the bowl, like just for a second and gets to like peek out into like the universe and before we dip back in, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what happened in the Queen Mary that kind of, can you take me into any more like feelings or something that happened? Was there anything like specific, or was it just an overwhelming feeling?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely the feeling there. We've told the story a couple times, but the synopsis is when we turned off the cameras, we all sat around. It was like 4 a.m. It was us and a couple roommates so that we could all vouch for each other. And we just called out and we said, hey, if there's something here, can you give us a sign? And there would be like right off the bat, just a water faucet full on for like 5 seconds. And then we ran into the bathroom, it turns off.
God.
And then so we're like, oh, okay, well, let's continue asking for signs. And so we get like things
That's
like
a ghost brushing its teeth, probably.
He's like, oh,
he's like getting ready for bed. It's like too late at night at that point. But then like afterwards, it would be like little knocks or scratches or taps everywhere. And so we'd test it because we were very skeptical at that time too. And it was like, okay, well then can you give us like 3 knocks? And it was like, pop, tap, tap. Okay, let's say, can you tap over there on the window of the ship so we know that it's not like an employee? And they would tap on the window.
And dude, we're like whispering these questions. So it's
Right.
not like we're like, can somebody tap? And it's like
Right.
out in the hallway. It's like the
Yeah.
janitor.
Can
or
somebody
whatever.
play Rihanna, you know?
Exactly. And then at one
Now
point,
that it's raining, you just start hearing that, dude. I would lose my mind.
the best paranormal evidence ever, just like coming out of nothing.
first
And it's
video.
just Rihanna. Umbrella. That would be
Dude, I would love if the best paranormal evidence ever that convinces everybody is something that silly. Like,
That would be amazing.
it'd be crazy.
The best thing ever.
But it's wild because people will say, you know, even in religious places, they'll be like, call out to God for what you want, call out to your higher power, ask your deity for, you know, ask the world. Like it's the same as when they say the secret, it's like write out what you want and like meet it halfway, build a vision board. That's all the same thing. It's just trying to put something in existence physically or verbally that to let the world meet, to let the spirit realm meet you halfway.
Yeah, exactly. Which goes back to like, it doesn't matter what you believe in. Maybe you don't even believe in any God, but you're just a spiritual person and you're talking to the universe. But all it's about is having that like manifestation and like, yeah, speaking, what's it called? the law of attraction, like
Yeah.
speaking into
Yeah.
the universe what comes back to you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's really cool.